Midships, 0 bubble.
Midship, 0 bubble.
Australian Collins-class submarine HMAS Rankin, on a 6-month deployment in the Pacific, has reached South Korea for safety exercises.
Stand by grounding, brace for shock. All departments, brace for shock.
30 metres,
45
10
metres.
down.
Open 4 main ballast tank flood valves. Below main ballast. Powder! Can't hear you! 15 metres, stop blowing main ballast! Stop blowing main ballast.
Since 1900, in peacetime, catastrophe has struck on submarines 170 times. But only one crew has been rescued from the ocean floor, and that was in 1939. The Russian nuclear submarine Kursk reminded the world how fragile life on board a submarine can be. A torpedo exploded on board. The entire crew perished in less than 60 meters of water. The Russian Navy was reluctant to call in foreign assistance, even though a rescue submersible was available. Eventually, a British mini-sub was utilized, but too late. It only enabled rescuers to retrieve the 118 bodies almost a month after the crew perished.
Nice throw!
Boats from around the Pacific have gathered in South Korea to practice rescuing crews from stricken submarines. The exercise is called Pacific Reach and is the first time South Korea has staged an event like this. She may be wanting to make a point to her neighbour to the north. The Americans have brought their deep-sea rescue vehicle known as the Mystic. It'll be piggybacked out to the exercise range by US nuclear submarine La Jolla. The Japanese and Korean submersibles are transported on purpose-built ships. Over the next week, Rankin will place herself 100 meters down on the sea floor on 3 occasions. Underwater rescue vehicles will descend to mate with Rankin. First up will be the Koreans.
MCC set the lower depth zone at 105 metres.
Set lower depth zone at 105 metres.
Then we're only about 3,000 yards away from the bottoming position, closing at the moment. We'll then go deep to safe depth, and once we're happy, we've caught our trim, we'll then commence our bottoming, hopefully be down on the bottom in the next 3/4 of an hour.
Okay, set it to 110 metres there, Cobb.
Set lower depth zone to 110 metres. Nice, sir. Lower depth zone's been set to 100 there, Cobb. Yes, sir. We're light and flooding in now, sir. Roger.
The chief of boat is the best helmsman on board, so he's the one assigned this dangerous task, driving Rankin down to the ocean floor.
Head revolutions 3-5. Head revolutions 3-5. Head revolutions 3-5 ordered, sir. 3 down. 3 down.
Down in 60 metres deepening.
Sounding.
Revolutions increasing. 1.5 down. 1 down.
We'll do it. Head revolutions 60.
Head revolutions 60. Head revolutions 60 set, sir.
Very good. Keep 60 metres.
Keep 60
Continue
metres.
flooding.
Aye, sir. Continuing to flood.
Let me know when you have control of the depth.
Aye, sir. 2 down. 2.5 down.
Now, we weren't this light at PD. There's something not quite right here, unless we took out a lot more. Weight comps did us something.
Depth rate's decreasing, sir.
Okay, Roger. How far to run to the bottoming position?
1 minute weight beats on, sir.
No, how far? I don't want to know time now. Say again?
100 yards, sir.
Okay.
Putting the submarine safely on the bottom is a complicated task for a helmsman.
Coming down, sir.
It requires a delicate touch to keep the boat trim. Too far forward and the nose could dig in. Too far back and the propeller could be damaged. The challenge is to settle the boat's 3,000 tons gently.
I just we needed a good trim. Didn't have one. Perhaps we needed a longer run in there, EXO. Yeah, my appreciation is that you're bloody light and you're also light forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just going to stay at 60 metres. God, we're going to reverse course and we'll run in again.
Aye,
Head
sir.
revolution's 60.
Head revolution 60.
Yeah, we'll go 500 yards the other direction while we catch a trim. I'll slow down out of the turn, catch a 2-knot trim going up in one direction, and then 500 yards to get it down to a 0 trim coming back. There's no point rushing this.
55 metres shot.
Revolution's coming on, sir.
While the Cobb has a second attempt at taking the boat down, the Korean deep-sea rescue vehicle is lowered from the support vessel. The Korean submersible has a steel edge where it would join with Rankin. Fearing the hard surface may damage Rankin's fiberglass casing means this exercise is restricted to approaching closely, going through the motions, but not actually mating.
One down, 105.5 metres.
She's all yours, engines. That's the submarines on the bottom. Do what you do best,
E3
engines.
just to make it separate. Submarines down bottom, and what your intentions are.
The submarine settles on the ocean floor at 106 metres. And to ensure she's not moved around by the tides, water is flooded into the ballast tanks, the extra weight pushing Rankin firmly into the sand.
About 1,800 litres forward.
That was good on ship control there, on MCC as well.
The Korean submersible finds Rankin in the gloom, her docking bay lit by a light on the fin.
May 8. Unfortunately, today did not see the Korean DSRV mate with us, and no personnel were transferred. While no mating took place, the rescue vehicle did spend a large amount of time manoeuvring in close proximity to Rankin, and I am sure that the Korean team gained a lot out of the day.
Claimant is on stock, sir.
Onwards to bigger and better things tomorrow.
To be a good Cobb, you need to have credibility. Credibility for if you get on the MCC and do an evolution or plane the boat, return the boat to PD. If you can't do that, and you go to instruct a trainee MCC operator how to plane, they just look at you and go, you can't do it. So what are you telling me?
I wouldn't say that there is anything that could make you a good submariner's wife. I think the underlying thing is that you've got to love them so much to put up with them going away for so long. Our youngest, Matthew, has been having such a hard time with Dad not being here. I get days where all Matthew wants to do is just climb up on my lap and just cuddle and talk about Dad and talk about, if Dad was here, he would come on and watch me play footy, or if Dad was here, he could teach me to do this.
6 months after we leave Australia, we come back alongside and nothing has changed. It's like going to work for one day and 6 months later, I'm going home. Yeah, inevitably life goes on for everyone else, and that's where the difficulty arises with family, friends, whatever. As a consequence of our 6-monthly running last year, I came back to a marriage that broke down. So we find strength in numbers though on board. We can talk to each other, and we're all in the same barrel because this happens all the time. There's some crazy statistics like 80% of marriages in the Navy break down.
The Navy disputes that the marriage failure rate is as high as 80%. But it's clear the crew perceive relationships as vulnerable due to their career choice.
Yeah, there's a lot of personal issues on board. If you just sort of dig just that little bit underneath the surface, you'll find that everyone has their little unique story that makes them interesting.
0.01 depth rate.
The next day, it's the turn of the Japanese. Again, Jason Bartlett drives the boat down to the bottom of the sea.
No, at the bottom. One down, 105.2 metres.
Just keep swimming forward back.
No bumps.
No bumps. That's 2 for 2.
Sandy bottom.
Sandy bottom.
With Rankin in position on the sea floor, the Japanese DSRV is lowered into the water.
Juliet 1, this is Alpha 1, over.
The observer from the Japanese Navy communicates with their submersible by underwater telephone, his words actually travelling out through the water.
艦名良好、こちらの艦名いかが?
Three of Rankin's crew enter the escape tunnel to prepare for transfer to the Japanese DSRV.
Okay, guys, we'll get to it. We'll start now. Ship's up as flat, tunnel, preparing the tunnel now.
That is correct. その通りです。Over.
The Japanese mini-sub approaches Rankin.
Unpin tower flood valve 5940, tack V2 operating lever.
Unpinned.
Unpin, roger. Okay, unlock the upper hatch and remove hand wheel.
Unlock.
You're on that, aren't you?
Yep.
Shut and then flood valve.
Yep. If he
Drain
says that
valve.
shut, I say miss shut.
In the tunnel, the crew are getting excited at the prospect of a successful transfer.
What is unlock the upper hatch and remove the hand wheel.
Alright, coming down.
Okay, hang on. Not done yet. Remove cover from stall charging valve.
Remove cover from stall charging valve. Removed.
This is where you just press the pin on the hiss and just check the air. Yep.
96度。0。ないな。
Tunnel and tower ready for DSRV to main.
Roger, tower and tunnel ready for DSRV to main.
Alright, sit and wait.
After some time, the sound of the submersible can be heard directly overhead.
They said they held us visual about 20 metres.
Yeah, they sound pretty loud up here in here.
Okie dokie.
The mini-sub manages to settle on Rankin, but they find it difficult to make a proper seal. The crew close the hatch to avoid the water draining into the tunnel.
How much do you figure on winding that valve shutting that? Should be sweet.
These exercises demonstrate how difficult it is to safely rescue crew from a stricken submarine.
A little disappointing, I guess.
Yeah, a little disappointing. I think more disappointing for the people who are going to transfer.
Yeah.
For us, we managed to mate and get the seal twice. I'm not sure what the problem with the seal is. I don't think it's our seal, so maybe they've just not sat on it properly.
Yeah.
You know, it's disappointing for them as well, I would guess, because it's quite an evolution of getting the SRV down. May 9. This time we did achieve successful mating with the Japanese rescue vehicle, although again no transfer of personnel took place. The training value, however, was invaluable. There is a quiet air of confidence in the team that is pleasing to see. Tomorrow is another day, as they say, and with it comes the opportunity to transfer personnel via the US Navy DSRV. Fingers crossed.
Day, it's supposed to be the turn of the Americans, but high seas and big winds forced them to postpone the exercise.
What's happened with our meeting with the Mystic?
Due to poor weather, there's a large swell. It makes it difficult for it to mate in this weather. So they've called the exercise off for today. So we're proceeding back to our area for diving. And probably spend the remainder today. We'll have to wait till tomorrow to see how conditions are then, I guess, and see whether they can continue on.
Fingers crossed, huh?
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Nah, seems alright.
Yeah, we'll stay on this course. It's a good course.
We've got a forward rope locker, and when we leave the wharf, we actually put all of our lines in there, and unfortunately 2 of them have come loose underneath the casing, so we have to pull them in.
And then we'll sort this one out, and then we'll go from there.
Yep, alright. I'll get these 3 organised.
In the high seas, ropes have been washed out of their storage compartments, and the casing party has been assigned to restore order. Rankin is made up of a pressure hull and an outer casing. The pressure hull is a steel tube which is encased in a fiberglass shell. Water flows under and around this casing.
Hey, Docky, how's your smoke?
With no smoking down below, casing party can be a choice assignment.
If you can't get out, yes, you can lash it tight so that it's not going to go out any further, and we'll have another look at it when it's benign conditions. We'll get up on the casing again.
Roger that, sir. We'll just give it one more go.
They're my watch, so yeah, you get good mates on board. Sometimes I equate it to working with a whole lot of little brothers sometimes. I don't mean that in a bad way for them, but yeah, they're good. You form good friendships.
The crew of the Rankin are keen to exercise with the US Navy's submersible Mystic, but it's not to be. The South Korean Navy have other priorities. Perhaps the propaganda potential of this event is too great to ignore. The one remaining day, overcast though it is, they devote to a photo exercise. They want their neighbour to the north to be aware of the powerful company they keep. In similar exercises in 2002, the Mystic successfully mated with another Collins-class submarine, HMAS Rankin.
Hey, how are you? Be right there!
How many can we send down right now? 3 at a time, coming down.
What we're going to do is we'll get this 3 through, if you can send the other 4 down, and then we'll send our 7th guy up.
With Pacific Reach behind them, Rankin's next destination is the submarine base at Kure in the south of Japan. The journey will take 3 days. Chris McClarty was originally upset when he lost his steward's posting to the newly arrived steward, Mel Clark. Now, 5 weeks into the voyage, his attitude has softened.
Since she's been here, it's been great. She's been me hand. I've had a lot more time to myself to study rather than being a steward and doing a lot of tasks. And I've just been grateful.
So what about the issue with her taking over your position in October? Has that been resolved yet?
Still trying to get over the fact, the issue that she came and just took my billet, but yeah, I know, just move on, yeah, go to a new boat.
Happy with that?
Yeah, I guess. I love to stay here though, but can't do nothing about it.
I think people want you to stay here, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they really want me to stay here, but it's out of my hands.
The original intention was to travel to Kure through Japan's outer islands, but delays in Korea have meant a more direct route is necessary through Japan's inland sea. This means passing through the Kanmonkai Strait. This narrow stretch of water is subject to large tidal variations and strong rips, so a pilot is necessary.
How you doing there, pilot?
Good morning, Captain.
Morning, how are you?
Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Steve, nice to meet you.
Okay. All right, please.
It's 5 weeks since the crew of Rankin said farewell to friends and family.
Emma, hello, my beautiful daughter. I spend a lot of my spare time thinking of you and Mum and hope that the days left before I come home pass quickly. Take every care, my darling daughter. My love to you always. Dad, kiss, kiss, kiss.
What do you got?
Family just came in this morning from my wife talking about my middle daughter, Tabitha, who's just had her tonsils taken out. She's okay, so pretty happy about that.
Dave Pretty grew up in Kentucky. He spent 12 years in the US Navy, including 2 years stationed in Japan. 10 years ago, he arrived in Perth, Western Australia, met Gillian and got married, and later transferred into the Australian Navy.
But it's normal that every time Dad goes away, we have a medical disaster, don't we, kids? And so, Tabitha, you've had yours this trip, haven't you? Yeah.
Mostly with the family grams. I mean, I'm not really sure of what's been going on at home. Rest assured, nothing too bad has, too monumental has happened.
Dave's eldest daughter Alex attends school near the naval base in Rockingham, Western Australia. Most kids here have a parent away at sea.
And this story is by Robin McKinley. So let's have a look at this. My mother and I lived in a little house with a big yard. She read me a story. Then she kissed me and turned out the light. I didn't remember my father. Does that feel like that sometimes? Sometimes. Do you have trouble remembering Dad when he's been away? Alex, can you still remember Dad?
It's hard to remember what Daddy looks like because he's been away so long, and I go to the fridge sometimes if I'm a little bit sad because we've only got one photo up there of Daddy.
Yeah, really unsettled. Constantly, I want Dad. When's Dad coming home? How long's he going to be away for? And it was Daddy this, Daddy that. And of course, in the first couple of weeks, I'm pretty bad. So I wouldn't get upset, I'd be worse, I'd get angry. And it's sort of like, he's not coming home. No, he's not coming home till October. Stop talking about it. And which didn't help her.
It won't be long now. We're into August, and then we've got September, and he says coming home in October.
He's never missed my birthday before.
He's never missed your birthday before.
Ignorance is a little bit bliss sometimes. I'll just go on like that because, I mean, I'm here and she's there. There's not a lot that I can affect.
Not even torrential rain can dampen the Japanese Navy's thirst for pomp and ceremony. They honour the Australians with the warmth of their welcome.
The commanding officer and
There are many dimensions to a submarine captain's job.
Thank you very much for your kind words today and the wonderful reception we've just received as we pull alongside. HMAS Rankin is extremely proud to be the first Australian ship to visit Japan since our ministers signed a Memorandum of Understanding on Defence Exchanges early last
year. Next week, Rankin departs for Hawaii. A 3-week journey through oceans 9 kilometres deep with not a speck of land in between.
1, 2, 3.
But before they leave, they experienced the unique quality of Japanese hospitality.